Our cold front just moved through the Austin area. Tonight at 10, we'll talk about the impacts that has on your Thanksgiving and holiday weekend.
A new threshold aimed to help some of the most vulnerable when temperatures take a dip. A look at the policy change the city of Austin is implementing this season. The massive Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade balloons are inflated tonight ahead of tomorrow's big day. The groups representing Central Texas throughout the route. Let's take a live look now outside at downtown Austin. The temperatures are going to get a bit cooler overnight ahead of Thanksgiving, but nowhere near freezing. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Jennifer Sanders. When those temperatures hit near freezing and it becomes too dangerous to sleep outside this winter, the city of Austin is switching up the way it does overnight cold weather shelters. As KXAN's Grace Reeder explains now, it's something the Austin EMS Association has asked for years.
A couple years ago, we told you the Austin EMS Association was not happy with the way the city of Austin handled its overnight cold weather shelters for people experiencing homelessness.
These policies that are very rigid do not work when it comes to emergencies.
And now, the City of Austin's Homeless Strategy Office and the Austin Area Urban League, which helps the city run those shelters, are making many of the changes the Austin EMS Association and others asked for. Those changes, which will go into effect this winter, include eliminating the complicated multi-tiered activation system. Instead, the cold weather shelters will simply activate when temperatures at Camp Mabry are expected to reach 35 degrees or below overnight. The notification that those shelters are opening will happen faster instead of the day of, something that was a huge concern for the EMS Association previously. And there will be a way for people to get help even after the set registration hours between 6 and 8 p.m. That after-hours service was not previously provided.
I'm glad that those things have changed. We haven't seen what the actual plan will look like since we haven't had freezing weather and we don't know exactly how they're going to be structured. But we continue to hope that they will allow multiple access points so that you don't have to go only to one Texas center and then get bused to different shelters.
That last part is not part of the new plan right now. Folks seeking shelter will still need to meet at the One Texas Center just south of the river and then take a shuttle to shelters.
I really do think that these new set of rules, they are what we suggested in the resolution 2 years ago, and we're glad to see them finally come to fruition. So I'm really excited to see if that better serves people who are experiencing homelessness, and we'll continue to provide advice on how we can continue to make these processes better and better.
Grace Reeder, KXAN News.
And other changes made by the city include better meal service, including breakfast the next morning. And starting this year, families with children or unaccompanied minors will be given vouchers for hotel accommodations. After the 2021 winter storm, a City of Austin audit recommended the city and Travis County set up resource hubs across Austin and the county. Each hub may offer something a little different, like shelter, food and water, information, and cell phone charging areas. During the 2021 winter storm, city staff scrambled to get food, water, and shelter to Austinites left in the dark and freezing. Okay, Tommy, so tomorrow is the big day, and it'll be a little chilly out there, but not too cold.
Yeah, right now we're kind of in this transition period. Once that front does swing through, which it did in Austin, but not completely through our area, that's when temperatures will begin to drop. Let me show you right now the winds that are getting picked up with this front. Here's our Bee Cave Covert Bee Cave Auto Mall camera. It's 73 in western parts of Travis County, but then in Camp Mabry itself, it's much cooler. We're starting to drop into the 60s. You can see these winds really beginning to pick up. You can see the flags there blowing in the distance. A gust of 30 miles per hour was just picked up in Austin. Winds out of the north-northwest at 8 miles per hour. So we'll continue to track these temperatures as they drop. There's the front. I drew it out. 23 mile per hour wind speed in Georgetown, 16 mile per hour in San Saba. How about 20 out toward Mason? And beneath that front, winds are calm a little bit out of the south, 2, 3, 4 miles per hour. But look at these wind gusts, 32 mile per hour gust in Georgetown, 30 in Austin, up toward 29, gusting in Burnet, 22 miles per hour, up toward San Saba County. So there's the front, few light showers kicking up just all across the DFW area, and these temperatures will continue to plummet back down to the upper 40s. So we're going to start off Thanksgiving 30 degrees cooler than than we were today. Today's high temperature was in the low 80s. So our high tomorrow, low 60s, that's going to be much more noticeably cooler in comparison to your Wednesday. We'll talk about near freezing as well for your Friday and Saturday morning, and rain could be back in the forecast. I'll show you which day in the next few minutes.
All right, Tommy, thank you so much. The Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals just ruled the Biden administration cannot get rid of Texas's razor wire along the border with Mexico. The ruling also stated that Texas is entitled to a preliminary injunction because Texas wants to guard its own property and not regulate Border Patrol. Border Patrol claimed that removing the wire is sometimes necessary to keep migrants from entering the U.S. illegally. The razor wire in question refers to the section for Eagle Pass, but Texas has used the wire in other places as well. Mexico's president says she had a conversation with President-elect Donald Trump to talk about migration issues. On social media, she wrote that caravans are not arriving at the northern border. President Claudia Sheinbaum Pardo says the caravan is being taken care of in Mexico. President-elect Donald Trump shared on Truth Social that it was a productive conversation and that they also talked about stopping the drug flow in the U.S. Just this week, Mexico's president hinted she is considering adding tariffs to U.S. imports if President-elect Trump follows through with his plans on putting a tariff on Mexican, Canadian, and Chinese imports.
When American companies have to import these goods at higher rates or with higher tariffs, they're going to pass most of those prices on to American consumers.
Experts say if tariffs are implemented, shoppers won't see the impact right away. That's because many companies will stockpile their goods ahead of time.
It's kind of further down the line, the 3 months, 6 months, years down the line, where you start to see more of these price increases once those kind of stockpiles start to run out and importers start having to actually face those tariffs.
Again, that's if the tariffs are put into place. President-elect Trump said the tariffs will be in place until those countries crack down on illegal immigration and drugs coming into the U.S. The Commerce Department announced today inflation's steady decline over the past 2 years has stalled. This comes just as consumer prices increase, and according to the Federal Reserve's preferred inflation gauge, consumer prices rose 2.3% in October from a year earlier. Service prices generated most of the inflation for the month, while food prices saw little change. The increase is up from just 2.1% in September. It is worth noting this is still only modestly above the Fed's 2% target. Electric automaker Tesla was fined nearly $7,000 by the feds for violations at the Gigafactory in Travis County. The Occupational Safety and Health Administration, or OSHA, found 2 violations related to hazardous exposure to employees. The first for not checking employees for chromium exposure in the Cybertruck body area of the facility in June. The second for not providing training and information on hazardous chemicals in July. KXAN reached out to Tesla for a statement about these fines. We have not yet heard back. This is not the first federal inspection at the Texas Gigafactory. KXAN digital reporter Taylor Gertman goes in depth on previous inspection results in the story on KXAN.com. A judge denied bail for Sean Diddy Combs today in his sex trafficking and racketeering case. He ruled Combs must stay behind bars ahead of his criminal trial. That's in May. Prosecutors call Combs a danger to the community, claiming he engaged in witness tampering from behind bars by making 3-way calls. Prosecutors also said in an Instagram post this month showing Combs's children speaking with him by phone was an attempt to taint prospective jurors. Combs's team has said that this is all within his constitutional rights. The 98th annual Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade is set to kick off tomorrow morning, and crews inflated the massive balloons tonight as they wait to make their way through the heart of New York City for all to see. City officials say their entire team is taking extra security measures to really make sure parade watchers are safe. Last year, pro-Palestinian protesters interrupted the parade for a short time.
I really want to take the moment to tell those Grinches that believe they're going to disrupt the parade, it's not going to happen. Just as we responded last year, we're going to be on top of those who attempt to interrupt the parade in any way possible.
And expect to see some local Central Texas faces. 5 officers from the Bowie High School Silver Stars competitive dance team, as well as a group of Lockhart ISD Lionettes and the Cedar Park Celebrities dance team will participate with the Spirit of America Performance Ensemble. And of course, you can watch the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade right here on KXAN. NBC's coverage starts at 8:30 in the morning. As Black Friday approaches, we're learning Gen Z shoppers tend to prefer shopping in person rather than online. That's all according to downtown Austin's 2nd Street District. KXAN's Brianna Hollis speaks with the group about how downtown businesses continue to search for ways to bring more people out to their brick and mortar shops.
On a windy Wednesday before Thanksgiving, downtown Austin has its sights set one step past the turkey. Decorated with twinkly lights and promo signs out, it's ready for Black Friday and Small Business Saturday.
They're really leaning into promotions and specials and exciting, innovative events to attract customers over.
Donika Toncheva, the regional marketing director for the 2nd Street District, says as retail trends shifted to the internet, brick and mortar strategies shifted to making the customer's experience more than just the shopping itself.
Hopefully when you visit, you have a very warm, pleasant time, and you want to stick around and you want to walk through the district and visit the more than 50 businesses that we partner with.
In downtown Austin, this also involves businesses teaming up.
Liza Page, which is a jeweler here in the district. We've partnered with them since 2008. They're partnering with a whiskey brand that's Texan called Millam and Green, and they're going to be doing a really special pop-up experience this Small Business Saturday, which I think will be really fun for people to attend. Really looking at the general shopping experience for most folks. Like you mentioned, a lot of people just want to do it online because it's convenient and easy. But I think they will travel to something that is unique and special. And so trying to come up with that on the back end of how do we make the experience unique and special for folks and worth traveling for has been a challenge, but a fun challenge for us to tackle.
Brianna Hollis, KXAN News.
The 2nd Street District says it has partnered with area parking garages to provide free parking through the weekend with validation for anyone who shops or dines in the district. Looking nationally, online shopping still reigns supreme among holiday shoppers. The National Retail Federation finds 57% of consumers plan on making their holiday purchases online, followed by department stores, grocery stores, and supermarkets and discount stores. As Black Friday and Cyber Monday sales approach, Amazon workers in more than 20 countries, including right here in the U.S., are prepared to strike. And it's not clear how many Amazon workers in the U.S. plan to participate. But according to the initiative's organizers, the planned demonstrations are intended to, quote, hold Amazon accountable for labor abuses, environmental degradation, and threats to democracy. An Amazon spokeswoman said Amazon remains proud of its competitive pay, comprehensive benefits, and safe experience provided to the staff. We are one day away from Thanksgiving, a day that includes not just the feast, but NFL football. Fans attending the Dallas Cowboys game tomorrow should come hungry. The culinary team at AT&T Stadium gave a sneak peek today at their Thanksgiving game day menu. So this includes the Thanksgiving sandwich, the Thanksgiving pie, the Thanksgiving bowl, and the Thanksgiving roll, which the chef explained what's exactly inside of that.
It's sweet potatoes, stuffing, smoked turkey, green beans. It's got cranberry sauce, and then it's just wrapped up and fried in a crispy roll, and then you dip it in the gravy. And this is just like a fun twist on Thanksgiving.
A fun twist indeed. So they say for the big game, the chefs prepared about 10,000 pounds of turkey, 8,000 pounds of ham, and 12,000 pounds of mac and cheese, because apparently it's even more popular on Thanksgiving Day. The Cowboys have the afternoon game and will take on the New York Giants at 3:30 p.m. Hundreds of people are resting tonight before tomorrow's Thanksgiving favorite, the Thundercloud Subs Turkey Trot. Like previous years, proceeds benefit Caritas of Austin, a nonprofit aimed at mitigating and ending homelessness in Austin. So if you are going, get there early because of the road closures, and of course, you know, it's going to be pretty crowded. There's a 1 mile option or 5 mile option, and you can walk or run that. By the way, you can still register for the race on site tomorrow morning between 7 and 9 o'clock. Well, before I ask you about the weather for them, Tommy, earlier this week, we have this on the record, we have the tape. You said that you might do the turkey trot.
I might do it. The problem is it's not the running, because, you know, I think parking is going to be crazy.
Okay.
So what I'm thinking of doing is maybe my own little few miles. I was talking to Jose, a producer, and we might do something. It just depends, because when you're closing the roads and there's the driving and MoPac and I-35, you know, I don't know. But thank you for holding me to that standard.
Holding you accountable.
We're holding each other accountable. Yeah, absolutely. If you plan on going to the turkey trot tomorrow morning, make sure you are dressed up, because the temperatures will be a little bit chilly. We have a cold front that just moved through the Austin area. Here's Round Rock. Here's our Whittlesey Landscaping Supplies camera. Notice the tree to the left is kind of blowing a little bit. We have some gusty conditions at times, up to 35 miles per hour, and that's going to be the trend overnight tonight. Right now, winds out of the north-northwest, 8 miles per hour, humidity at 68%. That temperature will go down pretty gradually overnight tonight. Where's the cold front? Well, it's approaching Bastrop and just north of Fayette County, probably approaching San Marcos in the next 15 to 20 minutes. South of Gillespie County, you see the winds really coming in out of the north, 23 miles per hour right now in Georgetown, gusting up to 30 miles per hour, 32 in Georgetown for a wind gust, 30 in Austin for a wind gust, 29 miles per hour in Burnett. And this will continue to drop, that cold front, to the south in the coming few hours. All right, temperatures will continue to slowly go down, as I mentioned. So if you're heading out to the turkey trot races, or you want to do your own little jog on your own like myself, maybe have a long sleeve shirt and sweater. It'll be warming back up, though, into the low 60s by the afternoon hour. So here's how it looks day planner wise: 55 for noon and 61 degrees by 4 p.m. We'll keep that mostly cloudy trend throughout the day. And those gusts, well, they're not really going to go away, up to 30 miles per hour at times. So, you know, if you haven't already, I don't think you're going to need to secure anything large in your yard. Maybe some small plants and things may move around. Maybe garbage can may fall over. But besides that, you know, nothing damaging. We'll just keep these winds slowly subsiding through the afternoon hours on your Thursday into your Friday, and will be a little bit breezy also for your Friday morning. Let's talk about what's going to go on weather-wise, clouds and radar, and we're dealing with a few mostly cloudy conditions rolling in. I'm not expecting any sort of rain showers for your Thanksgiving, and this dry trend most likely will be the name of the game up until early next week, and then things could finally change. We could be getting some rain, but the 3-day forecast is, hey, our normal high this time of year is 68 degrees, so we're going to be about 3, 5, 7 degrees cooler than that. Saturday, 65, if you're heading out to the vineyard, 66 on Sunday. And then Monday, that's when things could change. We could be getting a brief shower into Tuesday. Friday morning, if you're brave enough to stand outside for any sort of shopping activities, notice upper 30s, maybe a freeze toward Mason County. A little bit colder for your Saturday, 32 in Gillespie County, 38 in Austin, 33 in Georgetown. And a little bit more warmth and some more rain will return Monday into your Tuesday. It's a little too far out for the timing and totals of this, but just keep that in the back of your mind if you're already beginning to make plans outdoors early next week. 49 tonight, tomorrow, Thanksgiving, 61 degrees. Will be gusty, as I mentioned. And we'll be dealing with the temperatures continuing to stay cooler than average in the 60s for the next 7 days.
This is KXAN Sports, brought to you by Thomas J. Henry.
The UT women's basketball team arrives in Fort Myers, Florida, as they get ready to play in the Gulf Coast Showdown. Tournament begins Friday at 6:30 against New Mexico State. Roger Wallace will have coverage from there this weekend. All right, UT volleyball is putting together a nice streak of wins as the Longhorns head into postseason play. Just what Jared Elliott hoped the doctor would order. They took on Tennessee at Gregory Gym. Good crowd on hand, despite it being a little bit of a break. First set, Texas one away from winning. Madison Skinner delivers the kill to give the Horns the victory in the first set, 25-20. Then A. Names with this nice kill. She had 9 on the night, third most on the team. Texas wins set number 2. And then Madison Skinner, she had the most kills, but she ends the match with the ace. Longhorns win 25-20 in straight sets. One last regular season home match, and it's at Gregory Gym Saturday against Ole Miss at 11 a.m. College football tonight, the first injury report for the week was released, and quarterback Quinn Ewers is listed as probable. Ewers was noticeably limping after taking a hit in the second quarter. They are definitely hoping he is at full strength Saturday against Texas A&M. For more on that game, here's Noah Gross.
Well, Texas has done a great job of not talking about Texas and Texas A&M, but now they have to. It's game week. Longhorns and Aggies and everything that comes with it, and it could not mean more for both these programs. It would be a big game if both these teams were winless, but with a berth on the SEC championship on the line, winner goes to Atlanta to face Georgia. The environment, yeah, Texas has played in some big, meaningful games before. Think about this season, Arkansas, Michigan, of course, Red River every year with OU. Steve Sarkisian knows his team has handled those, and they feel a little battle-tested heading into Saturday.
So I think we've got some players that have been exposed to some of the more difficult environments in the country, but Kyle Field is right there at the top, if not at the top, of difficult places to play.
Defensively, we talk about, like, this is the moment that we strive for. When the hate is on us, we love it. We enjoy it. We kind of shine in moments where, nobody's rooting for us.
We turn these away games into sort of like home games almost, in the sense, not from the atmosphere, but in the sense of how we play and just how we embrace the environment. I don't know. It's just a different type of energy that we bring about.
Yeah, a lot of these Texas players did not really grow up with this Longhorns and Aggies rivalry, with the exception of course, Michael Taft, the Austin native, resident Longhorn historian, who recalls his family getting together back when this game was played every single year. As far as Texas this year, veteran receiver Matthew Golden recalls the Texas and Oklahoma game this year, where he really knew his team could handle adverse situations away from home, and Texas hoping that experience helps them Saturday in what is going to be the environment of all environments, expected to be at least, in Kyle Field and College Station. For now at DKR Texas Memorial Stadium, Noah Gross, KXAN News.
Texas Game Day Saturday at 5:30 on KBVO as well. And also be sure to check out more sports on KXAN.com.
All right, thanks so much for just joining us. We hope you have a happy Thanksgiving. Good night.